जय श्री कृष्णा। आप सभी का स्वागत है एडीजे न्यूज में। आप सभी जानते हैं कि आजकल हम लोग एक सेक्शन कर रहे हैं बातें का, जिसके अभी तक हम लोग 15 एपिसोड शूट कर चुके हैं और आज 16वां एपिसोड शूट कर रहे हैं, जिसमें हमारे साथ स्वाति जी जुड़ी हुई हैं, जो कि चंडीगढ़ से बिलोंग करती हैं। आइए जानते हैं उनके बारे में और वो क्या वर्क कर रही हैं चंडीगढ़ से, और किस तरह से वो नेशन में हेल्प कर रही हैं नेशन को बढ़ने में, और कैसी रही उनकी जर्नी। तो स्वाति जी, आपका बहुत बहुत स्वागत है एडीजे न्यूज में। आप
थैंक यू
हमारे
सो
ऑडियंस को अपने बारे में थोड़ा सा बताएं, ताकि हम लोग जान सकें कि क्या रहा आपका, कैसे आपकी जर्नी रही यहाँ तक की।
राइट थैंक यू सो मच आदित्य। दिस इज रियली इम्पेरेटिव आज की टाइम में कि हम एक दूसरे की जर्नी एक दूसरे के शब्दों से समझें, क्योंकि आई गेस शब्द एक ऐसी एडिशन है हम सबकी जिंदगी में जो बहुत हेल्प करता है अपने जर्नी को शेयर करने में, एक्सप्रेस करने में उन लोगों से जो शायद इस बारे में नहीं बिल्कुल जानते और जान सके। नहीं तो वो वक्त था एक जब बिना बोले ही चीजें समझी जा सकती थी, एंड आई विश वो वक्त वापस जल्दी आए। लेकिन जब तक नहीं, तो ये मॉडल बहुत ही जरूरी है, ये माध्यम बहुत जरूरी है कि हम एक दूसरे से बातें करें। सो बहुत अच्छा है आपका ये नेम बातें, सो इट्स वेरी नाइस, तो कंग्रेचुलेशंस टू दैट। यस, आपने कहा मैं चंडीगढ़ से हूँ। सो बेसिकली आई बिलोंग टू दिल्ली, लेकिन मैं 2018 में चंडीगढ़ शिफ्ट कर गई थी विद माय फैमिली। एज वी ऑल नो, रिटायरमेंट के लिए बेटर है एक ऐसी जगह जहाँ थोड़ा सा द थिंग्स आर मच मोर कन्वीनियंट फॉर द ओल्ड एज पीपल, सो यंगस्टर्स कैन ऑलवेज ट्रैवल। तो चंडीगढ़ एक बहुत खूबसूरत जगह है। सो मेरा प्रोफेशन जो है साइकोलॉजिस्ट का, इमेज कंसल्टेंट का, ये हमेशा से एक ऐसा प्रोफेशन है जो कि इट इज एप्लीकेबल फॉर एवरी ह्यूमन बीइंग। तो मेरे पास एक ऐसी सेट एज ग्रुप नहीं है। मैं बोलूंगी मेंटल हेल्थ एक ऐसी चीज है जो मेंटल वेलनेस है। जैसे हर इंसान रोजमर्रा अपनी बॉडी पे काम करता है, ऐसे ही उसको अपने माइंड कॉग्निशन पे काम करने चाहिए ताकि वो बेटर डिसीजन मेकिंग कर सके। ऐसे ही उसको अपने इमोशंस को फिगर आउट करने की जरूरत है ताकि वो इमोशनली डिसीजंस ना ले, रियलिस्टिकली लॉजिकली डिसीजंस ले। जैसे वो फाइनेंसेस के ऊपर काम करता है, सोशली अपने आप को अडेप्ट करना जानता है, और अगर वो ना कर पाए तो मेंटल वेलबींग के लिए उसको कुछ सेशंस लेने बहुत जरूरी है ताकि वो लाइफ के 5 एस्पेक्ट्स, माइंड, बॉडी, इमोशंस, फाइनेंस, सोशल लाइफ हेल्दी वे में जी सके। सो यही है मेरा आधार और मेरी पूरी की पूरी जमा पूंजी आप कह सकते हैं, जो मैं बचपन से शुरू किया। एंड वो बचपन मेरा काफी बचपन था, लाइक काफी अर्ली स्टेज पे मेरे को ऐसा लगा कि मैं इंसान ही ऐसी हूँ जो लोगों को समझता हो बिना बोले। वो बहुत लेटर की बात है कि 3 साल के बच्चे को ये महसूस होता था, इंसान महसूस होते थे, माँ बाप महसूस होते थे। ऐसा लगता था वो झगड़ रहे तो क्यों झगड़ रहे, साफ साफ दिखता था अरे कोई झगड़ने का टॉपिक ही नहीं है। ये तो बहुत ही खूबसूरत बात है, अब अपनी बात रखो, मम्मी अपनी रखे, दोनों सोल्यूशन पे फोकस करो। पर लगता था इन लोगों को क्यों नहीं समझ आ रहा, मतलब 3 साल क्यों मुझे समझ आ रहा है। वो कहते हैं ना, कई बार आपकी एज होती है बहुत बड़ी बट आप समझ नहीं पा रहे होते क्योंकि एक्सपीरियंस नहीं है। और कई बार एक्सपीरियंसेस आपके इतने हैं कि एज कई बार छोटी पड़ जाती है उसके लिए। सो बस वही बात थी कि 11th स्टैंडर्ड में मैं साइकोलॉजी से मिली एज अ सब्जेक्ट। तो फिर लगा मैं कंप्यूटर के लिए काफी फ्रीक काइंड थी, यू नो, आई ऑलवेज यूज्ड टू एंजॉय कंप्यूटर्स, कंप्यूटर कोडिंग, एवरीथिंग यूज्ड टू बी माय कप ऑफ टी। देन आई फेल्ट कि नहीं नहीं, साइकोलॉजी कुछ ऐसी चीज है जो दिल से आएगी, एफर्टलेस, लाइक एफर्ट ही नहीं करना पड़ेगा, बोर नहीं हो सकते। फिर लगा चलिए ठीक है, तो कंप्यूटर कोडिंग करी, 11th 12th टॉप करा, सीबीएसई सब किया, और उसके बाद लगा साइकोलॉजी ही जाना है आगे, तो फिर हम साइकोलॉजी ही चल लिए। तो फिर कंप्लीट डिग्रीज वी टुक इन साइकोलॉजी, did my graduation, post graduation and specialization in counseling taki I became a counseling psychologist. So thereafter that made me a counseling psychologist from my designation. बट कहते हैं, एंड मेरे प्रोफेसर्स यूज्ड टू से, तुमने नहीं साइकोलॉजी चूज करी, साइकोलॉजी ने तुम्हें चूज किया है, क्योंकि तुम तो पैदाइशी ही यही थी, तुम्हें समझने का अपना ही एक रुतबा था। तो वो चीज मुझे हमेशा से लगती थी कि अंदर और बाहर एक इम्बैलेंस सा आ गया है लोगों में, लोग दिखा कुछ रहे हैं और है कुछ। तो मुझे लगता था हमेशा से बचपन से ही कि ऐसा कुछ करना है जिसमें इंसान ना तो सिर्फ अंदर से ग्रूम हो but बाहर से भी वो लगे जो वो खुद है. ऐसा ना हो कि अंदर से वो बहुत ही शांत है और बाहर से बहुत ही अग्रेसिव लग रहा हो. तो ऐसा क्या है जो इंसान बाहर से सुधार सकता है या सिंक में ला सकता है? Of course, first thing is the covering, that is our clothes. तो 2019 में 2019 में I came across this course of image consulting. The moment I saw, I was like, this is it. This will be the completion to who I am and always had been. मेरी जर्नी ऑफ लाइफ की इनर एंड आउटर ग्रूमिंग, जो कि मेरी कंपनी का नाम है, वो उस दिन कंप्लीट होनी शुरू हुई. तो 2019 में आई स्टार्टेड माय कोर्स इन इमेज कंसल्टिंग एंड वहां से मैंने वो कोर्स किया. फाइनली कंप्लीट हुई क्लासेस एंड आई स्टार्टेड गेटिंग द क्लाइंट्स. ऑटोमेटिकली लोग मेरी जर्नी को देखकर खुद अपने आप में इतने इंटरेस्टेड हो गए कि 5XL से लेकर स्मॉल साइज, all the size variants of clients, चाहे उनका body weight या body structure कैसा भी हो, they all started getting inspired with the work I was doing on not just the outer but the inner and outer thinking. कि अगर आप इंसान अंदर से खुश मिजाज हैं तो आपके बाहर के कपड़े भी वैसे ही लगने चाहिए, ताकि आप बोले या ना बोले आपके कपड़ों से पता लग जाए कि आप कौन हैं और कहाँ से आ रहे हैं और क्या कहना चाहते हैं. So everybody loved that. So I'm grateful to life that I got this opportunity from one of the parent who happened to be my like a client, because I've also authored a book on parenting makeover, and she personally loved it. She's a blogger herself, and the book has been celebrated, though I have not shared much on a lot of things ever, but whosoever personally got it there and read the books, they started doing the conscious parenting instead of accidental and unfiltered parenting. So when I say unfiltered and unconscious, that means जो मन में आ रहा है बस बोलते चले जा रहे हैं, सोच नहीं रहे कि बच्चे को अफेक्ट करेगा या बच्चा सुन रहा है. And conscious parenting is बच्चे को बच्चे नहीं समझ रहे, एक अलग इंसान समझ रहे जिसके अंदर सारा डेटा स्टोर हो रहा है. So वो छोटी सी प्यारी सी 30 पेजेस की बुक मैंने सिर्फ लिखी इसीलिए ताकि लोग समझ पाए. So one of my client who became my client that way, not the client, but a celebrated Instagram figure, at the same time, many celebrities, they also celebrated it and appreciated it. So through her, we met again, and this time I was an image consultant and she was aspiring for Mrs. India. That is the official pageant for Mrs. India in India. And hardly we knew that, I though hardly knew that, but later on, when the whole process started, I just happened to tell her that, do you want some help in having your clothes settled? Because it's going to be a huge pageant. And I know what, you don't really enjoy all of that shopping. She was like, you are like asking me what I really want. So why not? I know you, who you are, what kind of a person you are, and I want nobody else other than you. Like I can have many people. Just give me a second.
Please.
So hardly I knew in that moment that she perfectly wanted a person like me who can understand her what she wants, because Mrs. India pageant, and that too the official one, 24 hours the cameras is going to be on you. This is not something usually we are used to. And she being a mother, and she being an army officer herself, and she being an entrepreneur of her own company, Fit Moms, Fitter Homes. So she wanted nobody else other than me to understand that journey. And what best, I am glad that I got to become so many things in that hardly 1 month or 1.5 months that we got to prepare for 7-day itinerary. And I am so glad that she finally successfully got so many crowns, and she became the second runner-up as well. And she will be representing India in many forms and whenever the second runner-ups will be going. So it was such a beautiful ride that I get to dress up many people from walks of life, like let's say all the beautiful housewives, at the same time all the entrepreneurs, mostly the men and women both. So I'm glad that my dream of inner and outer growing finally got placed in such beautiful form that I couldn't stop myself to finally establish my company. So finally in 2020, when unfortunately Corona happened, I won't say unfortunately, but untimely, unknowingly, but fortunately, unfortunately, we can't say, because death is something we can't control. How it comes, when it comes, something we can't. So I'm just, I always pray for all the souls who departed. And I pray that all the families receive that strength, because the physical absence is something that does give us a little shock. But through this particular interview, I like to say that we all are energy beings, so our energy never disappears. So you can always connect back to your loved ones. So do not ever feel that they're not with you. So, but that moment, I finally got connected to my passion, my own self that I always wanted to do. That was that was something which was very closer to me in that moment. So I started my free mental health helpline all across India, pan India, because 2020 was very, very huge for a lot of people, especially the 2019 pandemic when it started, and then the whole 2020 and 2021 break, all the COVID 1, 2, and cycles. It was quite draining, but only one thing kept me going, that was my purpose. So I did that, and I'm glad that I could serve so many people from all the states of India. And I mean, even those who couldn't understand my language, I couldn't understand their, but somehow with the translation or something, we managed, and I managed to refer them to other psychologists who can get to understand them. So my whole aim of inner and outer grooming always had been that your mental well-being and your outer being both has to be always synced together. And if it is not, then definitely you can call me and you can ask me, you can understand that what it is that's stopping you to connect to who you truly are, and then show the world exactly who you are, not less than that. So this had been my journey always, and I'm glad that I've shared my introduction in very brief, at the same time in a very touching all the points, I guess, which is needed to people to understand who I am and what I'm here for.
That's really true, ma'am. And there's one thing which I want to add in it. I have almost take around more than 15 interviews till yet, and जिनकी भी ये जर्नी मैंने शेयर की, ऑलमोस्ट उसमें से 50 to 60% लोग ऐसे रहे जिन्होंने कोविड के टाइम पे ही अपनी जर्नी स्टार्ट की, एंड दे आर सक्सेसफुल. सो ये काफी अच्छा अगर हम कहें, हाँ हालांकि डेथ रेट्स काफी रहे, फैमिलीज को लॉस हुआ, आई कैन ट्रूली अंडरस्टैंड दैट थिंग, एंड मेरा पूरा उनका के लिए वो है श्रद्धांजलि. बट जो फेज था वो काफी कुछ बनने के लिए भी था. तो जिसने भी उसको सही से यूज किया वो आज एक अच्छे लेवल पे भी बैठे हैं. इट्स ऑल टोटली डिपेंड ऑन आवर यूज ऑफ टाइम. ओके, सो अभी आपने बताया कि आपने साइकोलॉजी भी पढ़ी एंड देन यू आर इन अ इमेज कंसल्टेंट. तो इस जर्नी का जो मोटिवेशन रहा वो आपने बताया कि स्टार्टिंग से रहा, बट कोई एक ऐसा फ्रेज होगा लाइफ का बहुत मतलब शेकी टाइप या कोई बहुत मोटिवेशनल कि नहीं, आई हैव टू बी इट नाउ एट एनी कॉस्ट, ये वाला एक फीलिंग आता है जब हम किसी चीज को एकदम चुन लेते हैं. तो ऐसा कोई मूवमेंट आपकी लाइफ में आया, आप शेयर करना चाहें तो प्लीज मैम.
I really do not know. आप कह सकते हैं, maybe I don't know whether you're aware or not, but we all are nothing but just the energy beings having all the programming of all the DNAs we are carrying since lifetimes and generations. All the generations we had and our grandfathers and everybody had, we all have it stored in our DNA. So coming from the family background where all my paternal side was having a lot of yogis, and my maternal side always had very lawyers and all those people. So I guess it was almost like a blend to me that was gifted to me in my genes, where I had that spiritual inclination towards knowing who I am, truly essence. Because spiritual doesn't mean you have to leave the home. Okay, never. It has been again marketed in a way. When you are trying to understand who you are, you need to get down to the root of it. You cannot really say that, oh my God, my life is destructed, and you blame the flower or the fruit for being rotten. The flower or the fruit is rotten because the root is not healthy. Yes or no? So you need to work on the flower or you need to work on the root? I ask you.
It's a root. We have to work on a root.
It is the root.
Yeah.
So that is what always had been my thing. So when I was a very little kid, I used to see why people are so much in pain. You know, they used to be like, we are this, we are that, we are life coach, we are XYZ. And I'm like, if you are so much and still you're not able to feel content with whatsoever you have acquired, then why are you even saying whosoever you are? Because if you really are that, you don't even have to show. It will be seen. Yes or no?
Right.
If the tree is grown, the tree doesn't have to shout, I am grown, I'm grown, I'm grown. Yes or no?
Right.
It will be shown, it will be bearing the fruits. But if you really have not grown, then why are you wasting your time serving people when you yourself had not worked on this? Empty bucket cannot fill others. Yes or no?
True.
While serving and while filling your bucket, you share, that's a separate thing. That is what called being human, right? You keep working on yourself, you keep sharing. But you cannot really say, I am this, I am that, just in your head, but it has not intertwined with your experience. You cannot learn something unless you have not experienced it fully. Yes or no?
That's true.
When somebody is hungry, they're hungry not because the food is there. They are hungry because they have tasted the food in the past. They have relished that taste, and that is making them feel that taste to relive again. Had it been there's a new dish, something which you don't know what's the taste of, I don't think so anything will happen to you. Because you will be like, whether I should eat or I should not. Yes or no? I need to have little damn directory. So people are really afraid of getting into unknown. So unlike that, I had been always like the cup of tea of unknown. I was like, I want to step into exactly that place where I need to know where it is stemming from. So my whole thing as a child started then. So that trigger point, let's say, can be when maybe when I was in school, and for most of my life in school time, from 4th standard to 10th, I was being bullied for not receiving marks in maths. So I was like, I don't know, the problem is not maths, because when the teacher was teaching, and there was a teacher who used to teach from the depth of the core, like from where the formula is coming. I, being a depth person, wants to get into the root of it, like even where the formula has come from. I won't accept if you'll be like, this is the formula, get the answer. I'll be like, what the hell? What is this? I needed to know where the formula has come, why it has come, and why not the other way around. Or is there any other way around? So I'm more like a deep kind of clarity wala person, highly logically, कि मुझे वो exact answer बताओ पहले, right? So then I started questioning that what exactly is the problem? Like, is it maths or is it teaching or is it like, you know, that whole activity or that's module, that's way, the medium, how it is being taught. So I realized that it was not maths, it was not me, it was just the way delivery was done of the concepts. So the teacher changed, the whole thing changed, right? But in my case, the teacher came for one term and she went. So only in that one term, in 4 to 10, I could grab that feeling, oh, I know maths. There is no problem with me and maths, no problem. But during that period, I was being bullied for a lot of things, and that made me listen a lot of things, even when I knew who I am. So when you know who you are, you're observing every little thing of human beings, what they're trying to do, why they're trying to do, and still you cannot speak because you're afraid, because people have again doubted on you. So in 11th standard, I got computers, I got psychology, I got subjects. I was like, now I'm not going to stop. Now no matter how many people want to laugh, they laugh. I'm going to sit in front. So instead of sitting in last, I started sitting in front. Like, जिसने हंसना वो पीछे हंस रहा, वो दिख ही नहीं रहे. I don't give a damn. I'm just going to see only my focus thing. But in 11th and 12th, definitely I was a topper. Everything happened. Everything changed. I became prefect. Everything happened. I became the scholar. My parents were called in scholarly grant because I was a DAVian. So like in Hansraj, so it's like a huge, so DAV is a huge, place for schools. So DAV chairman was called in the very huge ceremony that we had in Hansraj. My parents were being invited. They were sent letters because I was a scholar. So everything was very grand. Now a child who's been getting facilitated by DAV chairman, that would be a glossy moment. Unlike that, that was not for me. I was like, at least from today onwards, my parents won't get to hear what they had to hear about me, for me, even when I was not that. But I was being perceived that way. I was being told that way by many relatives and many, right? So in that moment, I was like, ye nahi hoga bas. But I was not happy because I was proving the world who I am, because I couldn't work on myself. I couldn't accept my worth. So these 2 years when I topped in CBSE 2, CBSE boards, my name was there on the reception, like grand feeling, CBSE topper and everything. The ones who bullied me, they're looking and they're like, wow, Swati, you have completely changed. I'm like, yeah, thanks to you. You are the reason I've changed. But in that moment, I asked myself, and that was my triggering moment. I asked myself, do I want to prove the rest of the world for rest of the life, getting all that they think is right? Or do I want to do what I feel right? Because this is happy, I don't have to make anything happy. Everything will be blossoming. And then that moment, I asked myself, what is my cup of tea? Had it been, I would be a computer coder, I would have been nothing less than Google, or maybe would have made my own damn Google. Crazy, if I'm decoding human, that's a biggest machine. Computer is still less, that's being made by a human. Considering a kind of a person I am, I would have done that. But I chose what? A difficult machine, human. But for me, it was never difficult. For me, it was such a smooth ride. I used to enjoy listening to people, understanding, reaching to the damn root. And that was my first client, was me. So I always did that on myself. So today, the project that has stemmed was, it is because of that triggering moment. I asked myself who I want to make happy. Nth amount of population, it's going to be increasing every day, or my own self, and then enjoy that nth population and spreading that. So the latter was my decision. And I guess that is the reason I'm now stopping. I'm rerouting, I'm, redefining my roots. And that's a kind of a thing entrepreneur does. They never stop. They just enjoy their passion in different ways. So I had been doing that, and inner and outer was something very close to me because my mom used to make me dress up so beautifully, everything to the core of balance. And I was being a model when I was a child in women's era. So I guess my whole life had been that way, that somehow inner and outer was going along. And then that's why my company started, Inner Outer Grooming, where I'm grooming individuals completely inside out, where they are exactly what deeply rooted as a human being, what they are, away from the beliefs and perceptions and experiences that happen to them. They see exactly who they are, what they feel within. Then they blossom, and then that blossoming is being synced with what exactly matches with them. That is in form of clothes and personality and all the skills that is needed for the outside. That is why the triggering came into a very healthy journey, which anyhow was so fulfilling that I don't even feel that it's been that many years. I feel it's just yesterday. I guess that's the best part. You don't feel the time is passing when you're doing the right thing. But when you're not doing the right thing, every second goes like, oh my God, it's a huge thing. Unfortunately, but for the survival sake, generations have done that. And I really am wishing that through this mode, I get to tell people that you have another chance for life to live it the way you really are meant to. If you're still not found it, kindly talk it out. I am preparing certain things for the world, taki things can be taken in a very simple form as well. But for the detailed work, of course, it cannot be done. So for that, you need to discuss a lot with the person who is an expert in that. That's why I call myself a psychologist, which is not just a psychologist, but beyond it. Because my product involves psychology, schools, quantum physics, spiritual, Vedas, scriptures, everything. That's who we are, not just the books, but the essence of what we carry in our DNA. So we need to unlock all of that. Adi Yogi Mahadev did. So who are we? We need to walk the path.
That's great. Seems like you are a fan of a Sadguru, isn't it?
No. I'm not fan of anybody. It's just we aligned. Like I'm saying, from 3-year-old. So 3-year-old didn't know Sadguru. There was no Sadguru. But he being 3-year-old, I being 3-year-old were similar because we had our lifetimes. We have lived it. I might have lived, and I'm sure, I'm not even saying mine because I have accessed that information. Yes, we all have lived our lifetimes. We have experienced some things of that inside. You can't ask a yogi from where you're getting information. It's all within you.
That's true.
You can also access it. All you need is a guru who can give you the possibility and the tools so that you can access it. So that's what I'm saying. If you need access, you can come to me, you can come to Sadguru. But Sadguru is definitely, he has done it in a very different way. So even I'm learning from him because we are almost aligned on the similar path, but he has reached to another path in a different way. And I have experienced that different way usually when I was a child and after that also, but I kind of paused that whole situation, but he did not. So he's there and he has done since again lifetimes. So we all have done something in our lifetime. You can't really, recount what you have learned in previous, but you can definitely be certain that whatever is there inside you. So I always say outside is just direction. Don't follow anybody. Okay. Just follow what is within. Destination is inside. If you ask from outside the map, I'm sorry, you'll be lost. If you just look within and you go outside, you'll reach. It's almost following your right and left brain. I hope you have both sides. And then if you have both sides, it's your responsibility to take care of both. Your right is for your intuition and your left is for creating that path. If you leave any, unfortunately, the public has, they think only left is important, the logic. A logic is only take you to the length, but to flow, to have that flow, you're missing it. Your 70% body is water. You're losing the 5 elements within you. You're not even aware of your damn body. How are you going to work in your life? The question is that then.
That's true.
So you need to be aware of who you are first before you tell other people who they are. You don't even have to tell them. You're nobody to tell them.
That's true. I wish कि इस चीज से लोग सीखें and definitely they gonna learn it from, because आज के समय में हम ये जानने में बिलीव नहीं करते कि हम क्या है, हम ये जानने में बताने में बिलीव करते हैं कि तुम कौन हो. So that's really nice messages you are giving.
That is why I always say I'm glad I'm different and finally I can own it, because it's good to be different from the crowd, especially when the crowd is going accidentally. I am not saying they're wrong, I'm right. No, I am just saying it's a kind message. It is still time you become conscious of who you are and then enjoy that journey instead of having accidentally because of your fear. This is a fear journey people are having, and I am with them because I was also there once. But that happened only for 2 years. And I'm grateful that 11th and 12th, I learned the lesson. Had it been not that, I guess I would have been till there, living in a, I don't know, penthouse or something, being a trillionaire or something, being a Google or a XYZ coder, but not content from within. So in people's dictionary, I would have been a very amazing man, yeah, or a woman like that. But in my own dictionary, I would have been the most unhappiest, discontent, and not at all a human being, which I am. So human being, हमें यहाँ पहुँचने में कितने time लग गया? हम one amoeba से आज इंसान बने हैं. Nobody is even appreciating their own being. Highly unfortunate, but still a hope that life will happen, because everything is circular, even the planet. So everything will come to one end and then it will again grow. So we are doing our part. Of course, Sadhguru is doing his part. Adi Yogi did his part. Everybody is doing their own part. So I just pray that whosoever is doing whatsoever in life, please do it honestly to yourself, not to prove somebody else, not out of fear, but out of what you feel like doing, the love, where not just your well-being, I mean, every single thing, a plant, an animal, a bird, every little being is being appreciated. They get a place to breathe, like a forest. Everything breathes there, but we kill them for our fears.
That's really awesome. I feel we need a more time to go through on this discussion, but due to the reasons we both have a different sections to attain. So this is the last question I want to ask you in this section. What's your message toward the society? You're already giving a good message to everyone, but I want to know a specified message which you want to give to the society, to the today's generation, basically. So what's your message for them, ma'am?
So I feel today's generation needs to know that in coming 50 years, they're needed. But even their parents are coming from a place where for them today's generation is a 50-year-old and a new fresh thing, an experience. So if you cannot hold your parents' hand, if you cannot understand where they are coming from, how are you going to expect your next generation is going to understand you too?
True.
So you need to be aware of the roots, because you have been born because and through them. If you're not aware of the roots, if you're trying to run from the place your pain is, it's almost like खरोच लगा पैर में, दर्द हो रहा है, छिल चुका है, बट नहीं, हमको भागना है. वो जितना bleed हो रहा है उसको बैंडेड नहीं किए. You have not even provided first aid to your own bruise. That bruise is bleeding for I don't know how many years. Try sitting with that bruise, putting first aid, and allow healing. If you do that, it will save many generations. It will save you from mindlessly and accidentally living, and it will change into conscious living. You will heal you. You will heal a lot of parts of your generations. You will be ready for the next generation to have conscious living. This is my message. Don't run from pain. Ignorance was never a bliss, never will be. It will be nothing but just load of volcano erupting and becoming huge and huge every time you're ignoring. You think it's not affecting because you're just thinking, and thinking in itself is just 10%. So what are you thinking? Your 90% is what? Exactly what you are ignoring. Sometimes being an addict of something. Addict can be anything. You order food, you have sugar, anything on excess is nothing but an extreme of everything within you happening. So you want to live life of extremes, or you want to live in harmony of yourself? That's a question you need to ask, and then sit with your pain. If not able to, please be open to seek the expert's help, because every expert is different. I'm an expert of healing this level of work, which is very deeply ingrained, and we all humans have that. But other people who are looking for short term, please go to short term, those psychologists who can help you in short term. I do not address short term. I address only what is deeply core, so that for once and all you get out of it and you know how to live in harmony. So this is my message to everybody, and I hope everybody reaches to their clarity and they have all the love, light, and harmony of truth. That's it.
That's really nice, ma'am, and I really appreciate that you given the time to us, and आपने इतना अच्छा information share किया जो इसे सुनने के बाद भी अगर लोग चाहें तो they can change their life, they can change their mindset, they can change their thinking, and they can enjoy the happiness which is within in us.
Yes.
Surrounding में तो ढूंढ रहे हैं, but within us जो भी है उसको कोई जानना ही नहीं चाहता. So I
it's
wish
almost like, yeah, it's almost like a tree is asking मुझे sunlight दे दो, but खुद वो grow नहीं करना चाहता.
So that's the thing I wish कि लोग समझें और इससे इंस्पायर हों. और I really thanks to you कि आपने अपना टाइम दिया हमें, and I really appreciate कि हाँ फ्यूचर में हम लोग और ऐसे सेक्शंस कर पाए ताकि we share more knowledge to the normal society and public. Thanks for your time, ma'am.
I look
Jai Shri Radhe
forward.
Krishna.
Thank you so much, Radha Krishna.